Hi friends, this is Joanna. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Today I'm going to show you how to make resin coasters, and it is super easy to make. This is my first time at making beach coasters. So I'm starting off by mixing resin part A and part B, and then I'm dividing it into several cups. Now I'm going to be adding colors to those cups: acrylic paint and mica powder, and I'm going to list all the colors in the description. I started off with dark blue, and then I'm going to go with metallic cobalt, which I love that color. It's so gorgeous. And then I'm going to move on to mica powder, which is so beautiful and so Caribbean, you know, Fiji waters or what have you. Just absolutely stunning. It's very easy to mix, and you don't even need much of it to add this beautiful shine to your resin. Now in my next cup I'm going to put some to the resin. I'm going to add some white alcohol ink, probably around 10-15 drops. Now in the next cup I'm going to add resin and sand, and yes, I picked up the sand myself, so it is very sentimental for me. I love picking up my own stuff if I can from nature, so this was super exciting to be able to get it when I was at the beach. And now we're grabbing our silicone mold, and we're going to start with the sand, and you're just going to start applying it. You know, I want to make sure that there's sand at the bottom, and then I'm going to have crashing waves, and then all the different colors of the water are going to go on. So I'm just, you know, I'm just playing with it. I don't have a master plan per se for the sand. I just know that I want it at the bottom. Once I'm done with the sand, I'm going to go in with my darkest blue, and that is going to go on the very top of my mold. Now you don't need this particular mold, any coaster mold will do. This is what I have because I use this for my geode coasters as well, so it really works for me, and I really like it. And then we're going to go with the cobalt, the metallic cobalt, and then the light blue, the Caribbean blue, which is not the name is not Caribbean at all. I'm just calling it Caribbean. I'm gonna list it below. I don't remember the name of the mica powder. I just know that it's made by Eye Candy. And then you're just gonna kind of, you know, mix the colors together. You don't want to have any defined lines, so with a stick, with the finger, whatever, the resin is going to move by itself a little bit as well, and then we're gonna use the heat to move it too. So just give it a, you know, a rough mix. Well, like I mentioned, this is my first time making the beach coaster, so I hope I was doing it right. Not that there's a right or wrong reason really to make it, but it came out okay. I believe the steps that I'm taking are the correct steps. So right now I'm just going in with the seashells. Also, some of them I picked up from the beach, and others I got them from the necklace that actually broke. So you just can put rocks or seashells or anything else that you want, really, like you know, thicker gravel, that would go very well as well. So you're just gonna decorate it. Just make sure that those seashells are not any higher than your mold, because once you put all your resin in, you want to make sure that they are completely covered. Otherwise it's not going to be that nice if they're going to be sticking out. So now I'm just going to start working on my waves. So I'm putting some clear, a little bit additional clear resin on the very edge, and then I'm going to go in with my white. So the whole idea was to use my heat gun to do it, and then I realized that my heat gun really is not blowing very hard at all. I know that the resin by now it's a little bit thicker, but that thing was not doing anything. So in the frantic despair, I grabbed my straw and I just started using my straw to blow it and to blow it out. And guess what? The waves actually started coming to life. I just started going back and forth, adding more white to it if I needed to, and they were coming out just great. I went back and forth in different directions, just blowing with my straw and thinking that, my goodness, I really need to get a different heat gun because this thing is just not working very well. So here I am, I'm adding more white, and I'm popping bubbles with my heat gun, and I'm trying to warm up the resin as well. You can see this is my second coaster. I already made the other one. That the movement was a little bit more there. Now I let it sit until probably 5-6 hours, and then I went in and I added more clear resin to the top, and then I started adding additional waves. So everything else over there is pretty dry already, so I'm just adding more resin to the top and I'm adding more white. So now I'm going to add another layer of those waves. Now I didn't want to go too heavy on the white because I didn't want it to be like completely white. I know that some people love it that way. I really wanted the other colors to be poking through underneath the waves. And so this time around I decided to grab my hairdryer, and that thing had a little bit more power and it really started pushing the resin a little bit more, but I really do think that it wasn't hot enough to create those beautiful foamy cells in the resin that everybody shows in their videos. So I think I may have to change my heat gun. But yes, the hairdryer definitely was doing a much better job than my heat gun. But then in the heat gun's defense, the heat gun that I have actually is just for I use it for embossing and very simple projects. But you can see how those waves are coming to life, and I let them sit again. I made sure that they were nice and dry. I popped all the bubbles, of course, ahead of time, and then I added another coat or two, actually no, another coat of resin. And here, this was for my friend's mom, so I just added grandma to it with my vinyl from the Cricut, and I put my final layer of resin on top of that. Now, like, remember what I told you, make sure that your shells are not taller than your mold, because once you put that final coat of resin, you want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And there you have it. I absolutely am in love with these. I love how they came out, and I think I want to make some wall art with the waves and the sand. It's just so beautiful. I was really thrilled with it, and I was also happy how easy they were to make. Well, my friends, if you enjoyed it, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, my friends, ta-ta!